Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome. And welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be reviewing AEW Full Gear. And thank you for the applause, by the way. Thank you for the applause. So yeah, this is AEW Full Gear 2020 AEW Full Gear. So this is the review on the Ryan Awesome Show. So overall, this was an awesome pay-per-view. This was a great pay-per-view. I loved it. Now, the only thing I didn't like was the women's match. I mean, it's not the fact that I didn't like it. It's the fact that I didn't care about it. I didn't care about the match. I just wanted it to end. I wanted them to crown Nyla Rhodes the new women's champion. So yeah, other than that, everything else was great. I loved everything else. So yeah, first off, we start off the show with the buy-in. We had Allison K. We had Allison K versus Serena Deeb for the NWA Women's Championship. So yeah, I thought this match was really good. I thought it was really good. And I thought it was really good. And I was saying to myself, man, this is how the AEW women's matches should be. You know, if they bring in more women like this, the women's division will be better off. So yeah, we had Allison K versus Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb the champion, and Allison K is the challenger. So we started off the match with a collar and elbow. So they were going hold for hold. You know, Serena Deeb is a technician, so she had her technician moves. And then we had a shoulder tackle from Allison K to Serena Deeb. And then we had arm drags from Serena Deeb. She delivered arm drags. And then she was targeting the leg too. She was targeting the leg a lot in this match. So yeah, she gives Allison K a dragon screw. And then she tries to go for her Serenity lock. And Allison K, she gets out of the Serenity lock. And then at one point they had a standoff. And they were slapping each other. They were slapping each other. And they were going back and forth in the ring. And then we had a stun gun. We had a stun gun to Serena Deeb from Allison K. So she delivers the stun gun, follow up by a big boot to Serena Deeb. And Serena Deeb, she kicks out at 2. And we had a backstabber. We had a backstabber from Serena Deeb. And then she also gives Allison K an octopus stretch. And so yeah, she had her locked in this submission move. And Allison K, she reverses it. She counters it with a powerbomb. And so she delivers the powerbomb. She goes for the pin. She didn't get a lot of the pin. So they were zinging her on commentary that she wasn't pinning her properly. So that's why she kept, kicking out and stuff like that. And then we had a spine buster from Allison K to Serena Deeb. And Serena Deeb, she kicks out at 2. And so Deeb, she fights back with clotheslines, European uppercuts. And then she delivers a swinging neck breaker, followed up by a Hangman's neck breaker. And then at one point we have an Alabama slam to Serena Deeb. And Deeb, she kicks out at 2. And then we had Allison K. She delivers her finishing move. She calls it the AK-47. And she delivers it to Serena Deeb. And right after she hit it, she tried to go for the cover. And Deeb, she rolled out of the ring. So that's smart. And then we had not a dragon suplex, but a dragon screw. When Allison K was trying to get Serena Deeb back into the ring. Deeb, she recovers. And while Allison K was getting into the ring, Deeb, she delivers a dragon screw to Allison K. And then she goes for a front slam. It kind of looked like a Styles Clash. So she hits a Styles Clash on Allison K. And Deeb, she goes for the cover. And K, she gets a foot on the rope. So, and right after that, we had a Serenity lock from Serena Deeb. So she makes Allison K taps out. She makes Allison K tap out to the Serenity lock. And then, so yeah, Serena Deeb wins. and is still the NWA Women's Champion. And right after the match, we had Thunder Rosa. She comes out. Her theme music plays and she comes out. Crowd is going crazy. And she gets in Serena Deeb's face, basically saying that she won her championship back. And so yeah, I thought this is awesome. You should have put that on the show. But yeah, Thunder Rosa, man, AEW, they need to sign her. They need to sign her quick. But I know she's still in NWA. They said that you had reports saying that, you know, she's done with the NWA. You had other reports saying that her contract don't expire until 2021. You had other reports saying that she was supposed to show up in NXT for Halloween Havoc. And so I don't even know. I don't know which story to believe, which story to believe. But like in the end of the day, she needs to sign with AEW because the AEW women's division need help. They need help right now. And if you add Thunder Rosa, go ahead and sign Allison K2. And I think Serena Deeb, she's already signed to AEW. But continue to sign more women. Sign more women so that this women's division in AEW can flourish. Because right now, man, they are in deep trouble. They don't have no competition. The AEW women's division sucks. It sucks. And they need more women like Thunder Rosa. So yeah, if they work on that, man, the women would be better off. And so yeah, we had right after this, we had Allie. Not Allie. Yeah, Allie was there with the Butcher and the Blade and the Lucha Bros and Eddie Kingston and this guy named Alex. I forget his last name. Not Alex Marvez, but Alex from, I guess, he's always on Being the Elite with Santana and Ortiz speaking Spanglish. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. I forget his last name though. But yeah, he interviews Eddie Kingston and the family. So the family is the Butcher, Blade, Bunny, and the Lucha Bros. And so we had, yeah, he talks to Allie first. He says that, do you think Eddie Kingston have a chance to make Moxley say I quit? And Allie was telling him that was a dumb question. And I agree with her. That was a dumb question. A dumb question. Why would you ask that question? Does he has a chance to beat Jon Moxley? Yeah, even though we know he's not gonna win, but you have his supporters. You think his supporters will say that he don't have a chance? So yeah, that's why it's a dumb question. So yeah, he said, yeah. So Alex said it was a dumb question, and then Alex, the interviewer, he asked Eddie Kingston the question. He asked him, do you think which do you think? What do you think is more important? Do you think winning the championship is more important, or making Moxley say I quit is more important? And so Eddie Kingston, he said the championship is more important. And yeah, even though he wants Jon Moxley to quit, you know, the championship is more important. It matters the most. And he had to do everything it took. He had to do everything it took to win the championship. And he had to sell out. He had to take out Jon Moxley and all that stuff to get the championship. And, you know, he said it over and over and over again. He hated what he become. He hated what he had become. But he got to do what he got to do. And that's what you're supposed to do as a challenger. You do what you got to do to win that championship. Whether you got to cheat, poke somebody in the eyes, kick them in the nuts. You do anything it takes to win that championship. And Eddie Kingston done that tonight. He done that tonight. He didn't win the championship, but he done that tonight. He done everything. But he lost in the end. So yeah. So yeah, that ended off the buy-in. But the actual show, we had our first match to kick off the show. We had Kenny Omega versus Adam Hangman Page in the AEW Eliminator Tournament Finals. And yeah, this is a great match. I love this match. And then you had Don Callis from Impact Wrestling. He was on commentary. So yeah, he was on commentary because yeah, he was a friend of Kenny Omega. And Kenny Omega wanted him to be on commentary. He wanted him to be there. And Don Callis, he was saying that he knew Kenny Omega. He known Kenny Omega for a long time, ever since he was a kid. And we started off this match. We tried to get a handshake from these two, and we didn't get no handshakes. I think Kenny Omega extended his hand to Adam Hangman Page, tried to get Adam Hangman Page to shake his hand, and Page didn't want to. And so we had a V-trigger attempt from Kenny Omega, and he missed. And then we had, at one point, they were giving each other chops, back and forth. Page was giving Omega chops. Page was giving Omega chops and all that stuff. They were both getting each other chops. And then you had a snap Rana to Page. And then you had Kenny Omega. You know, Page is knocked outside of the ring. And you had Omega going for his Terminator claps. He go for his Terminator clap, and he usually go for the dive after that. And so he tried to go for the dive, and Adam Hangman Page came out of nowhere and blasted this guy with a big boot. And he gives Omega a follow-away slam. And then at one point he gives Kenny Omega a superplex. And then so he gives him a superplex, and they're outside of the ring. And they were going back and forth, chops again. And then Page, he throws Kenny Omega into the guardrail over and over and over again. And he tried to do it again. But this time, Kenny Omega, he countered it. So he threw Kenny Omega to the guardrail. Kenny Omega jumped. He jumped on the guardrail and give Adam Hangman Page a moonsault. So that was a really cool spot. I loved it. And then we had a Hikaru crusher to Adam Hangman Page, and Page kicks out at 2. And then we had Kenny Omega deliver his "You Can't Escape," and he slips up on it. It's a fireman's carry senton. I think that's what it's called. And Kenny Omega, he usually land on his feet when he delivers it. And when he delivered it, it looked like he tweaked his ankle or something like that. So he wasn't on his feet. But he slipped up and he delivered his moonsault. He delivers a moonsault to Adam Hangman Page. He kicks out at 2. And then at one point we had Adam Hangman Page. He delivers his springboard clothesline to Kenny Omega. And so Kenny Omega is outside of the ring. And then at one point we had Kenny Omega. I think he went back into the ring. And he gives Adam Hangman Page a Tope con Hero. And then right after that, they go back into the ring. And we had Kenny Omega delivering a diving drop kick to Page for the cover. Page kicks out at 2. And then we had a one-winged angel attempt from Kenny Omega. And Adam Hangman Page, he counters it. And then Adam Hangman Page tried to go for a one-winged angel. And Omega, he reverses it. And then we had Adam Hangman Page, he goes for a buckshot lariat. And Kenny Omega, he counters it. He counters it with a V-trigger. So that knocks Adam Hangman Page out of the ring. And then we had a pop-up powerbomb. We had a pop-up powerbomb from Adam Hangman Page on a ramp. So on a ramp, he delivers a pop-up powerbomb to Omega on a ramp. And then he brings Omega back into the ring and delivers another pop-up powerbomb to Omega. Omega kicks out at 2. And then we had Hangman, he delivers his rolling elbow to Kenny Omega. And Omega, he counters with a knee strike. And then we had Kenny Omega deliver a Tiger Driver 98 to Page. And Page kicks out at 2. And then we had a Snapdragon suplex to Page. And Page, he recovered from it. Fast, and he delivers his rolling elbow strike to Omega. And then we had a Deadeye to Omega for a near fall. That was a close near fall, man. So he delivers the Deadeye. Adam Hangman Page, he delivers his Deadeye finishing move. And Omega kicks out. And then we had a buckshot lariat, another buckshot lariat attempt from Adam Hangman Page. And he missed the buckshot lariat. And then we had a dragon screw to Page. We had 2 V-triggers. We had 2 V-triggers to Adam Hangman Page. Follow up by a one-winged angel for the win. So Omega wins the tournament. And he is going to fight Jon Moxley at a later date for the AEW World Championship. So that was the end of the match. This was a great match. I loved it. The back and forth these two had. We all knew that Omega was gonna win. Omega was my pick to win anyway. So yeah, man, Omega wins and he's fighting Jon Moxley at the pay-per-view or whatever their championship match might be, whether it's on AEW Dynamite or another pay-per-view. I don't know, but it's gonna be good. And so, what I was disappointed about, man, I wanted Kenny Omega to turn heel tonight, man. I was waiting for that heel turn, man, but we didn't get it. We didn't get it on Saturday. But maybe we'll get it later on. Maybe we'll get it later on as the weeks go by. But yeah, I was waiting for that heel turn, man. But yeah, this is a great match to start off the show. You could have had any other match start off this show, but Omega and Page, they dude, how can you follow that, man? But yeah, that was the end of the match. And then right after that, we had John Silver of the Dark Order versus Orange Cassidy. Now this match was supposed to be on the buy-in, but they moved it to the actual show because of the NWA Women's Championship match. So yeah, and yeah, this match this match was good. It was good. It was comedy. He had comedy in the match, but this was a great match. Both guys are great wrestlers. So yeah, we had John Silver versus Orange Cassidy. So yeah, at first to start off the match, we had Orange Cassidy. He puts his hands in his pocket like he usually does, and then we had the most devastating kicks from Orange Cassidy to John Silver, and then right after that, we had John Silver. He just gives a slam to Orange Cassidy. He was through playing around, and he takes. So yeah, at one point, Orange Cassidy, he had his hands in his pocket. You know, he wasn't taking them seriously, so he had his hands in his pocket. And John Silver, he takes Orange Cassidy's hands out of his pocket, and then he rips out his pockets. He rips off Orange Cassidy's pockets and just puts it in his mouth and chews on it like he's eating it or something. And so and so John Silver, he takes control of this match by throwing Orange Cassidy around from the ring and stuff. And then we had a swinging DDT attempt to John Silver from Orange Cassidy. And so John Silver, he overpowers it. This guy is freaking strong. He overpowers it and turns it into a brain buster. So yeah, he had him in a DDT position. He catched him from the DDT, swinging DDT position. And so he just overpowers him. He muscles this guy up and delivers a brain buster for a 2 count. And then we had, John Silver, he was showing off his strength. He was showing off his strength the entire time, you know, because he's stronger. He's stronger than Orange Cassidy. He's bigger than Orange Cassidy. So yeah, he was throwing him around the ring. He was throwing him into the turnbuckles, you know, basically showing off his strength. And then we had a crossbody. We had a crossbody from Orange Cassidy to John Silver. And then Orange, he goes for a swinging DDT. So he hits the swinging DDT. Silver kicks out at 2. And then at one point we had, they were both fighting at the top rope, I guess. I think they were fighting at the top rope. And so yeah, John Silver, he has Orange Cassidy in a gorilla press position. He grabs this guy with one arm. He grabs him with one arm and delivers the press, the body slam to Orange Cassidy. And then we had a Michinoku driver to John Silver, and Silver kicks out at 2. And then we had we had Orange Cassidy go for his beach break. He tries to go for the beach break, and Silver, he counters with kicks. So he kicks Orange Cassidy. And then we had a stunt dog millionaire to John Silver. And then we had John Silver, he delivers a torture rack. It was a torture rack spinning powerbomb. And Orange kicks out at 2. And then John Silver, he tries to go for Mr. Brody Lee's finishing move, that distance clothesline, and so he missed. And Orange, he delivers a orange punch, and he goes for the beach break, and 1, 2, 3, Orange Cassidy wins. So yeah, this is a great match. This is a great match. Orange Cassidy won the match, and I don't know what's next for Orange Cassidy. What is next for Orange Cassidy? I don't know. But yeah, right after this, we had the TNT Championship Match, which I thought was a great match too. We had Darby Allin versus Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship. And we had, Darby, he comes out to the ring. He gets drove to the ring. So you had a driver drive Orange Cassidy. We had a driver drive Darby Allin to the ring. and he smashes. So yeah, he has a skateboard in his hand, right? I keep saying Orange Cassidy. Darby Allin. Darby Allin has a skateboard, and he just smashes the front window with the skateboard. And so yeah, he makes his way to the ring, and then Cody makes his way to the ring. His explosive entrance with the pyro and all that stuff. He comes out with the Nightmare family. He comes out with, Orn, Brandy, Dustin, QT Marshall. The Gun Club was there too. Billy and Austin Gunn, they were there, and Lee Johnson was there. And they were accompanying Cody to the ring as the Nightmare family. And we had the ring announcer announce Cody Rhodes as Cody Rhodes, and he got his name back, and the crowd was chanting Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, and the referee, the announcer also announced Mike Chioda as the referee, so Mike Chioda is there. We haven't seen Mike Chioda in a while. He was at All Out, but I think this is his second time in AEW, and so we got a Mike Chioda chant from the crowd. And we had Cody. Cody was showing off most of this match. He was showing off his strength, and because he's stronger. He's stronger than Darby Allin. He's bigger than Darby Allin, and he's stronger than Darby Allin. And Darby Allin, at one point he slaps Cody Rhodes upside the head. So he slaps him right upside his head. And so yeah, Darby he starts to get the better of Cody. And then Cody, he rolls out of the ring to try to get some words of encouragement from Arn Anderson, his coach. And he just yells at Cody like, "You're stronger than him. Don't take nothing from Darby. You're stronger than him." And we had a roll-up from Darby Allin. Cody kicks out. And then we had a tope suicida to Cody. We had a tope suicida from Darby Allin to Cody Rhodes outside the ring. So Cody was turned around while Darby Allin delivered a tope suicida, so he hit him right in the back. And we had Cody Rhodes go after his arm, Darby Allin's arm, the entire match. So he delivers a hammerlock, so he had him in a hammerlock, right? And he picks up Darby Allin from the hammerlock and just throws him outside of the ring. And Darby, he landed right on his arm, on the ramp. So that was a nasty bump. And yeah, just like what I said before, Cody, he targets the arm over and over and over again. And he targets the arm by doing a short arm scissor to the arm. And then, Cody, as he was taking control of the match, he continues to show off by doing those push-ups. And Cody, he's been doing the push-ups a lot in his matches. Every match he's been in, he's been doing the push-ups. And Arn Anderson gets mad at him. He's pissed off at Cody. They keep showing off the entire time. So yeah, he need to tell Cody about that, man. He need to talk to Cody about that. But yeah, and then we had an avalanche shoulder breaker to Darby Allin. They're at the top rope. And he delivers a shoulder breaker to Darby Allin, and so he kicks out at 2. And then we had a moonsault attempt to Darby from Cody. So yeah, Cody, he tries to deliver the moonsault. He hits it, and he missed. And then Darby, not Darby. We had Cody. Cody delivered a super kick to Darby Allin. And then we had a middle turnbuckle. We had the middle turnbuckle exposed at one point. And then Darby Allin, he drives Cody Rhodes into it, the exposed turnbuckle. And then we had Darby Allin going up for a roll-up. Cody kicks out at 2. And then we had an avalanche. We had an avalanche cross Rhodes from Cody Rhodes to Darby Allin. And, Darby, he rolls across the ring. And, yeah, right after he hits the move, he hits the avalanche cross Rhodes. Darby Allin, he rolls away. He rolls towards the rope, it looks like. And he goes for the cover. And Darby Allin, his arm is under the rope. So that count doesn't count. And we had an avalanche. We had an avalanche backdrop to Darby. So yeah, Darby Allin was on Cody Rhodes' back. And so Cody, he was on top of the rope, and he just jumped backwards. And just drives him through the mat. And and then Darby, Darby, he rolls out of the ring right after that. And then he makes it back at the ring at a count of 9. So the referee is counting up to 10, and Darby, he makes it back into the ring at 9. And then we had Cody. We had Cody body slamming Darby over and over and over and over again. You know, trying to get him to quit. Trying to get him to give up. And then we had a gorilla press slam to Darby. And he goes for the cover, kicks out at 2. Cody at one point had the weight belt that he wears to the ring, and he was going to use it. And so he puts it down. And Darby, he counters with a jackknife cover. And Cody, he kicks out, and then Darby, he goes for his last supper move. It's a move called the Last Supper. And he gives it to Cody, kicks out at 2. And then we had a coffin drop to Cody Rhodes for a near fall. He kicks out of the coffin drop, Cody Rhodes does. So at that point, I thought that was it, man. He lost. And then we had cradles after cradles after cradles after cradles. And then Darby, he wins. He got the better of Cody Rhodes with that cradle. And he wins. And so Darby Allin wins, and he is the new TNT champion. And that was it. That was the end of the match. Darby is the new champion. And we had, after the match, we had Cody. We had Cody Rhodes. He hands the TNT Championship to Darby Allin. And yeah, he gets down on one knee and just gifts him the championship. And Darby Allin, he celebrates, and then Taz comes out to interrupt, to ruin the surprise for Darby Allin. And so yeah, Taz, he's trash talking both of these guys, trash talking Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin and stuff like that. And then we had Cage. We had Team Taz, the rest of Team Taz, come out and attack Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin. So yeah, Brian Cage and Ricky Starks, they attacked Cody and Darby. And yeah, they were fighting in the ring, and then they went outside of the ring. And Cody, he tries to fight back, and Cage throws him. Cage throws Cody Rhodes through the full gear glass that was outside of the ring in the crowd. And then we had at one point Cage, he just drags Darby Allin to his car that he was driven to earlier. And he tries to slam his door. He's trying to slam his door on his arm, on an injured arm. And so Will Hobbs, he comes out. He comes out with a chair and it just saves the day. And he chases off Team Taz. And yeah, that was the end of it. Now Will Hobbs, I don't know what they're gonna do with him. I said it last week. He should join Team Taz. But yeah, this thing is not over with Team Taz and Will Hobbs. And I did say that Ricky Starks was going to get involved, or Team Taz was going to get involved. I thought they were going to get involved in the match to try to cost Darby the championship. But yeah, they didn't go that way. And so right after this, we had the women's match. We had Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida for the women's championship. So yeah, this match, I really didn't care about the match. I just wanted them to give the championship to Nyla Rose. I love Hikaru Shida. I really do. I'm not saying this because I hate Hikaru Shida. I don't hate Hikaru Shida. I love Hikaru Shida. But she has no competition. She don't have no competition. And so that's why I thought it would have been a better option to give the championship to Nyla Rose. If you would have gave the championship to Nyla Rose would have competition. She can run through that division as the women's champion. And yeah, Hikaru Shida, she didn't have no competition. Who exactly did she defend the championship against? What? Who? I'll wait. Not that many people. And so yeah, she's great. They're both great. But I really didn't care about the match. So yeah, we had Rose and Shida. They go after it. And we had a running knee lift to Nyla Rose. And then we had Nyla Rose give her a clothesline. And then Nyla Rose tries to use a chair. And the referee stops her. And we had Shida. Hikaru Shida sends Nyla Rose through the guardrail. And the referee goes and check on her. Goes and check on Nyla Rose. And right behind the referee's back, Vickie Guerrero, she hits Hikaru Shida with a kendo stick. And we had Nyla Rose right after that attack the leg. So yeah, Vickie, she hits Hikaru Shida with the kendo stick to Hikaru Shida's leg. And so right after that, Nyla Rose goes after the leg. And so yeah, that was the focus of the match, Hikaru Shida's leg. And then we had a body slam follow up by a splash from Nyla Rose, and Shida kicks out at 2. We had a single leg Boston Crab from Nyla Rose. And then we had a senton attempt from Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose missed. And we had a suplex from Shida to Nyla Rose. Rose kicks out at 2. And Shida goes for a Tamashi, her finishing move name, the Tamashi. And Nyla blocks it. And Nyla delivers her knee drop, her signature knee drop, while her opponent is laying on a top rope. She gives the knee drop to Hikaru Shida, and Shida kicks out. She barely kicks out. And then we had a missile drop kick to Nyla Rose, and Rose kicks out at 2. And Nyla Rose goes for a power bomb, and she picks up Hikaru Shida, so she cancels the pin. And Nyla, she goes for Shida's finishing move, the Tomashi, and Shida kicks out at 1. So she kicks out of her own finishing move at 1. And we had an avalanche Falcon Arrow to Nyla Rose, and Shida, she blocks the pin too. She cancels the pin too. And then Shida, she goes for her Tomashi. Vickie grabs her leg. Referee saw it. Referee didn't do nothing about it. And then Shida gets attacked. She gets, right after she gets her leg snatched by Vickie Guerrero, she turns her attention to Vickie Guerrero, and then Nyla Rose attacks Hikaru Shida from behind. And then Vickie, she tries to use the kendo stick again. The referee took it away from her. And she attacks Nyla Rose by throwing her into Vickie Guerrero, so she's out. Vickie Guerrero is out. And Hikaru Shida goes for her Tomashi finishing move. She hits it. And she hits knee strikes to Nyla Rose over and over and over again. And so she goes for the cover. Shida wins and is still the AEW Women's Champion. And right after the match, we had Vickie Guerrero. She argues with Nyla Rose. So yeah, she argues with Nyla Rose for not getting the job done. And then she slaps Nyla Rose across the face. And I thought Nyla Rose was going to take her out. But Nyla Rose didn't do nothing to Vickie Guerrero. So yeah, that was the end of the match. And yeah, that was it. Hikaru Shida win. I thought they were going to give the title to Nyla Rose, but they didn't. But yeah, that was it. And then right after this, we had the tag team match. The moment that we've all been waiting for. We had the YoungBucks versus FTR for the AEW Tag Team Championships of the world. And they mentioned earlier that Tully Blanchard was banned from ringside because Tully, he's been getting involved in a lot of the FTR matches. And we had the Bucks come out. They were wearing the Lakers color, the NBA Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers, because they won a championship. So they were paying homage to the Lakers. And we had FTR come out. And in the back of their trunks, they said GTTOAT, the greatest tag team of all time. So G-Tote. I think that's what it said. So yeah, this match, at first it started off slow. And the crowd wasn't into it. And they like, when they got into the middle portion of the match, then yeah, that's when the crowd started to get into it. And, during this match, we had both teams delivering Legends tag team finishing moves. We had the Bucks hit the 3D, and we had them hit the Twist of Fate. The Twist of Fate follow up by the Swanton Bomb, so the Hardy Boys finishing move. And yeah, the FTR guys hit the Heart Attack, the DIY finishing move. So yeah, that was really cool. I love that. So yeah, they were going strike for strike. The FTR guys tried to go for the leg again. And at one point we had Dax Harwood's hand is bleeding. His hand is bleeding, is bloody, because he hit the ring post earlier. He tried to hit one of the Bucks, and so they moved out of the way, and he just punched the ring post, and so he's bleeding from his hand. And so, yeah, that was another focus of the match. The hand, Hardwood's hand, and Matt Jackson's leg. And so, yeah, the Bucks, they see this, they go after the hand. And then Matt goes for a moonsault, landing on his feet. So he damages his leg more by doing those high-flying moves. And then FTR, they continue to target the leg. And then we had a superplex to Matt from Hardwood. So, yeah, Hardwood delivers a superplex to Matt Jackson. And then Cash goes for a splash. And Matt gets his knees up. And then at one point, we had a hot tag to Nick. We had a hot tag to Nick. He delivers his forearms after forearms. And then his enziguri. And then we had FTR. They fought back. And they deliver a heart attack. So, yeah, the Hearts, they delivered the Hearts finishing move. The Hart Foundation finishing move. The heart attack from FTR. Nick kicks out at 2. We had a tope suicida to Nick Jackson from Cash. So Cash Wheeler delivers a tope suicida to Nick. I thought they were all about no flips. But just fists. But yeah, we had a super kick to FTR. And then we had the Hardy Boys finishing move. The Bucks, they hit the Hardy Boys finishing move. No, we had them hit the 3D at first. We had them hit the 3D. And then we had them hit the Hardy Boys finishing move. And they kicked out at 2. Hardwood kicked out at 2. We had a slingshot powerbomb to Nick Jackson from Hardwood. And Hardwood goes for the cover. And Matt Jackson breaks up the pin and goes and gives Hardwood a crucifix. And Hardwood kicks out at 2. We had a super kick to Hardwood's injured hand. And then at one point we had the FTR guys using their former rival opponents, DIY, their finishing move. The meeting of the mind. I think that's what they called it. And at one point we had a double sharpshooter attempt. We had a sharpshooter attempt from Matt Jackson to Dax Hardwood. And we had Nick Jackson deliver a sharpshooter to Cash on the outside of the ring. So they were grabbing each other's hand. They were trying to grab the ropes. And so at one point we had Cash and Dax, they were grabbing each other's hands like don't tap out, don't tap out, don't tap out. And yeah, and we had Matt his leg continued to act up all the time. Like his leg is giving up on him. And then we had a finger snap. He had a finger snap to Hardwood from Matt Jackson. And we had the BTE trigger. We had the BTE trigger to Hardwood. And Cash breaks up the pin at the last minute. So that was a close one. That was a close one. If he wasn't there, it would have been it. And Nick, he dives onto the Cash. He dives onto Cash. And Matt at one point tries to use the chair. He tries to use a steel chair. And Dax Hardwood, he's pleading Nick to use the chair. Like, use it. Go ahead and use it. Because you hit me, you are not getting another championship match. And Nick, he was on the other side, said, dude, don't do it. Don't do it, dude. And he puts the chair down. And they try to go for the Meltzer driver. And so Cash stops Nick Jackson from diving. And so he just powerbombs. He powerbombs Nick Jackson through the timekeeper's area, through the table. And we had a mind breaker. There, the double power driver move to Matt Jackson. And Matt puts his foot on the rope. Well, his foot was already on the rope, actually. You know, he wasn't positioned right when he went for the cover. And FTR, they take off the boot. They take off Matt Jackson's boot. So he's barefoot. And then we had Nick Jackson deliver a 450 to break up the submission move. So yeah, I think it was Hardwood. He had an Indian deathlock on one of the Bucks, on Matt actually. He had it on Matt, and then Nick, he just broke up the submission move by delivering a 450 to Hardwood, and then we had a super kick from Cash to Nick, and then we had at one point we had a springboard 450 from Cash Wheeler, and he missed. Bro, what is the last time you've seen Cash deliver a 450? Or any of the FTR guys? When is the last time you've seen them go off the top rope? I thought they were all about no fist. I mean, not no fist. I thought they were all about no flips, just fist. So yeah, they went against their word. But yeah, he missed. It was a beautiful, beautiful 450 splash, but he missed. And Matt delivers a super kick to Wheeler, and he pins him 1, 2, 3, and the Bucks win, and they are the new AEW Tag Team Champions. So yeah, this is a great match. I love this match. At first, the crowd wasn't into it at first, but once we started to pick things up, they started to get into it. Yeah, and yeah, that was it, man. Yeah, I kind of knew that the Bucks was gonna win, but yeah, I wanted FTR to have a longer reign. It should have had a longer reign as the tag team champions. But yeah, you kind of knew that the Bucks were gonna win, because who in their right mind think that the Bucks will never challenge for the championships ever again? They're gonna go after the titles. But yeah, that was the end of the match. And then we had, right after this, we had the Elite Deletion match, if you want to call it a match, between Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara. So at first we had Sammy Guevara. He shows up at the Hardy compound in a golf cart, and we had Neo scan Sammy Guevara, telling him that you're dumb, showing up here. And then we had Matt Hardy come out of nowhere with a monster truck. He shows up in a monster truck, and he drives over the golf cart with the monster truck. So he crushes this golf cart with the monster truck. And then Sammy Guevara, he wasn't in the golf cart. And Matt Hardy goes around to the golf cart to see if Sammy was in there. And so Sammy, he comes from behind and attacks Matt Hardy, and then he delivers a moonsault. So he gets on top of the wheels on the monster truck, and just delivers a moonsault to Matt Hardy. And then we had weapons being involved in this match. We had trash cans. They were thrown around. And we had a suplex. Matt Hardy delivers a suplex to Sammy Guevara on the grass. And then at one point they were in front of the house. Yeah, they were fighting. And Sammy Guevara, he tried to drown Matt Hardy in his own fountain. And so Matt Hardy, he picks up something. It was a scepter, and so he hits Sammy Guevara with it. And so yeah, he hits him with the scepter, and so they're fighting. And then they fought into a ring that was set up in their yard. So they had a ring that said AEW Full Gear. And Matt Hardy, he delivers a side effect to Sammy Guevara in the ring. And then at one point, he brings in a table. And powerbombs Sammy Guevara through the table. And he tries to go for the cover. And Santana and Ortiz of the Inner Circle, Proud and Powerful, they came out to Sammy Guevara's aid. So they jumped Matt Hardy. And then Private Party, Matt Hardy was talking on a walkie-talkie or something like that, calling for help. And so his help was Private Party. So they come out and save Matt Hardy to even up the odds. And we had Matt Hardy, he used like a firework. He was using projectiles. And he was firing at Sammy Guevara. And Sammy, he gets those fireworks too, and he uses it. And so they're shooting each other with it. And so yeah, so he uses it. And the Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz and Private Party, they were fighting. And yeah, they were fighting. Yeah, when the projectiles were being fired, everybody got down. The Proud and Powerful guys got down, and Private Party, they got down too. So they were down they were down. Trying not to get hit. And so we had Sammy Guevara. So yeah, Matt Hardy, he was shooting Sammy Guevara with it, and Sammy, he was all over the ground. He was on the ground in the mud, and we had a twist of fate to twist of fate to Sammy Guevara. And at one point we had one guy in a mask. He shows up, and he had the Hurricane Helms. He had Hurricane Helms at hostage. And so he was like, he was talking to Matt Hardy and stuff like that. And then this guy takes off the mask, and it's revealed to be Gangrel. So the crowd is going crazy that Gangrel is there. So the Inner Circle got some help from Gangrel. So he was helping the Inner Circle. and Hurricane Helms was on Matt Hardy's side, so I guess the odds were even. And then we had Sammy and Matt. They fought into their dome. I forget what he called it, the Elite Dome or something like that. And it looked like it was in a garage or something like that. And so they went inside. The door was closed. That kept everybody else out, and they were fighting. And we had at one point. Yeah, we had one point. Sammy, he chokes Matt Hardy with the ring rope, and then Sammy, he climbs up the ladder. This is a tall ladder too, inside of this garage, or whatever you want to call it. I think he has a name for it, but I forgot the name of it. So he climbs up this ladder. The ladder is really tall, and the ladder hits the roof. So he can't climb up all the way to the top. So he climbs up high enough. So he delivers a splash, a senton bomb to Matt Hardy through the table. Matt kicks out at 2. And we had a twist of fate to Sammy Guevara. And then at one point, Matt Hardy, he spears Sammy Guevara from the ring into those tables that was set up outside the ring. And Sammy, he was bleeding. Sammy was bleeding in the back of his head. And then we had a chair shot. We had a chair shot to Sammy Guevara. So Sammy Guevara, he had his face to the ground, and Matt Hardy just hit Sammy Guevara with the chair. And Sammy Guevara bleeding everywhere. He is bleeding. And so yeah, he covers he covers Sammy for the win. So Matt Hardy wins. And right after this, they put Sammy Guevara into a trash can. They put him in a trash can. And they put him in a trash can, and they put him in the back of the truck. They put him in the back of a truck that Senior Benjamin was driving. And so they drove off. And you had Matt Hardy, Private Party, Hurricane Helms, and Rebby Hardy. They were celebrating. Their win over Sammy Guevara. Well, Matt Hardy win over Sammy Guevara. And then right after this, we had MJF versus Chris Jericho. And if MJF wins, he joins the Inner Circle. Yeah, this is a good match. This is a good match. At first, yeah, MJF, he was playing mind games with Chris Jericho. He was playing mind games with Jericho by coming out to the ring in a light-up jacket. So we thought it was going to be Jericho. We had MJF come out. So yeah, the lights were off. They had the light-up jacket. And everybody was cheering, thinking it was Jericho. And MJF music just played. Like, I'm better than you, and you know it. And the crowd just started booing. So MJF, he comes out to the ring. He was actually wearing the Inner Circle colors. And yeah, Jericho comes out. Same. Crowd sings Judas. And then we had, at one point, Jericho slapping MJF. Slapping him across the face. So yeah, we had him slapping him across the face because MJF tried to give Jericho a handshake. And so Jericho slaps him. And we had a back suplex to MJF. Jericho looked good in this match too, by the way. And we had MJF faking an outside dive. And then we had Jericho throwing MJF into the guardrail, body slammed to MJF. So Jericho, he took control of the first portion of this match. And then, what else did he do? Oh yeah, he used the camera. He was recording the camera, flipped the birdie as a camera. And so he was using the camera. He used he was attacking MJF. MJF was at the ring post. And Jericho, he delivers a Judas effect, but he missed. MJF moved out of the way, so he Judas effect the ring post. So yeah, the arm is injured. And MJF, he targets the injured arm of Jericho. And then we had a back. And Jericho, he fights back. He delivers a back body drop to MJF. And then MJF, he bites Jericho's hand. And Jericho bites him back. And then we had an eye poke from Jericho. We had a double axe handle to MJF from Chris Jericho. So Jericho going at the top rope. We had a lion salt from Chris Jericho to MJF. We haven't seen Jericho hit a lion salt in a while. So yeah, Jericho, just like what I said before, he looked good in this match. He delivered a lion salt to MJF. And then we had a Frankensteiner from Chris Jericho to MJF on the top rope. So yeah, Jericho usually doesn't go for his high-flying moves. And so yeah, he delivers a Frankensteiner to MJF. MJF kicks out at 2. We had a double foot stomp to Jericho. We had an eye poke from MJF. We had the Salt of the Earth to Chris Jericho. So MJF locks in the Salt of the Earth, and Jericho counters it with the Walls of Jericho. We had MJF grabbing the ropes, and Jericho thinks he won, but he didn't. And then we had MJF deliver a code breaker, followed up by a heat seeker. Jericho kicks out at 2. We had a lion salt. We had MJF try to go for a lion salt, and he missed. And then we had a code breaker from Chris Jericho. MJF kicks out at 2. We had a Judas Effect attempt from Chris Jericho. MJF turns it into the Salt of the Earth, and Jericho fights out of it. We had Wardlow give MJF the diamond ring, and so he tries to use the diamond ring. And then Jake Hager comes out and gives Jericho the bat, Floyd the bat. And Jericho has the bat in his hand. And he has the bat in his hand, and the referee turns around. No, not turns around. First, MJF, he falls. He pulls off an Eddie Guerrero and falls down on the mat, acting like he got hit by the bat. So the referee, Aubrey Edwards, she turns around. She sees Jericho with the bat. And, Jericho was arguing with the referee. I didn't use it. I didn't use the bat. And so MJF, he rolls up Chris Jericho for the win. 1, 2, 3. And MJF wins. He beats Chris Jericho, and he is in the inner circle. And that was it. MJF won, and he is a part of the inner circle. Man, the inner circle is done. That's all I gotta say. The inner circle is done. Because, you have all these other guys in the group that don't want him in the group. And now this guy is a part of the group. Ortiz, Sammy, they didn't want him in the group. And now he's a part of that group. And so, yeah, Jericho announced that, MJF is part of the inner circle as of Wardlow. Wardlow too. So MJF and Wardlow is a part of the inner circle. And yeah, a lot of people were asking me. People were telling me. They were telling me what happens if MJF do join the inner circle. Now I was telling them, dude, if MJF joined the inner circle, then Wardlow joins the inner circle. Like they were asking what would happen to Wardlow if MJF joins the inner circle. Wardlow is gonna follow him because Wardlow is on a contract with MJF. Wherever MJF goes, Wardlow follows him. So yeah, that's the reason. And yeah, that was it. That was it with the match. Inner Circle is done. They are done. Because MJF, I think he's going to use the Inner Circle. He's going to use the Inner Circle to get back at Jon Moxley because he never got in his rematch because he was robbed of the championship. And once he used them, he's going to turn his back on him. He's going to turn his back on the Inner Circle. And I think Santana and Ortiz, they're going to leave. They're going to be doing their own thing. And Sammy might end up leaving too. And yeah, that was the end of it. But it was a great performance. Chris Jericho looked good. MJF always looked good. And finally, we had the main event of the night. The match of the night. We had Eddie Kingston versus Jon Moxley in an I Quit match for the AEW World Championship. So yeah, Eddie Kingston, he came out. He was wearing all green. He was wearing like a light green ring attire. And a lot of people were asking, like, why is this guy wearing a light green color? He was paying homage. He was paying tribute to Tracy Smothers and another Japanese wrestler. I forget his name. I think it was Misawa something. So yeah, he was paying tribute to those guys. So that's why he was wearing those colors. He was wearing a T-shirt signifying Tracy Smothers, and then I think he was wearing the light green suit, the light green ring attire for Misawa. And so yeah, we had strike for strike. They were going strike for strike at each other, Moxley and Kingston. And we had a chop off. They were chopping each other and they were slapping each other and all that stuff. And we had a belly-to-belly suplex to Moxley from Eddie Kingston. We had a tope suicida to Kingston from Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley throws a chair at Eddie Kingston at one point. And we had a finger snap to Eddie Kingston. So he's going after the fingers. And we had Kingston throws Moxley into the guardrail. And we had Moxley bring out a barbed wire bat that hits Kingston with it. And smears the barbed wire bat across Eddie Kingston's face. And yeah, and blood is involved, so these guys are bleeding. And then we had a back body drop, a back suplex to Jon Moxley. We had Kingston take some of the barbed wire wrap. So yeah, he takes the barbed wire from the bat and just wraps it around his fist and just beats Moxley with it. And then we had Eddie Kingston deliver his spinning back fist to Jon Moxley. And no pinfalls count. You have to say I quit. And we had a Kimura lock to Moxley from Eddie Kingston. And we had a suplex. We had Eddie Kingston deliver a suplex to Jon Moxley on 2 chairs that was set up in the ring earlier. And then we had Eddie Kingston take out some thumbtacks and he put it in the middle of the ring. And so yeah. Jon Moxley tries to go for a paradigm shift. He tries to go for a paradigm shift on those barbed wire, not the barbed wire, on the thumbtacks. But Eddie Kingston, he gives no, it's not it. No. We had a back suplex to Moxley. Moxley recovers and counters it with a clothesline. We had a paradigm shift attempt on the thumbtacks from Jon Moxley. And Kingston, he slams Moxley onto the thumbtacks. I think it was a Uranagi slam. And then Kingston, he brings in some rubbing alcohol. Right after Jon Moxley landed on those thumbtacks, he brings in some rubbing alcohol and just pours it on Jon Moxley's back. And oh my God, man, Jon Moxley, he sold it too, man. He sold it. It dude sold it like he was being set on fire. That had to burn, dude. I'm telling you, on the open wounds, he poured the whole damn bottle on his back. So yeah, Jon Moxley selling this like his death. And at one point, when the camera angle was getting close up to his face, Jon Moxley, he had thumbtacks sticking in his head. So yeah, I thought that was a cool visual. And then we had a power driver to Eddie Kingston. And we had a paradigm shift to Eddie Kingston. And then Jon Moxley, he goes for... He grabs some of the barbed wire stuff, and wraps it around his forearm. He gets the barbed wire and wraps it around his forearm and gives Eddie Kingston a bulldog choke. And so he's choking Eddie Kingston out. He can't pass out. He got to say I quit. And so he delivers the bulldog choke, and Eddie Kingston, he just says I quit. And that was it. That was the end of the match. And this is a great match. I loved it. I love this match. I loved it. But yeah, that was the end of the show. That was the end of AEW Full Gear. And I was actually supposed to review this on Sunday, but I had stuff to do. I was busy. I had work, schoolwork. So yeah, I'm sorry that this came out late. But yeah, this is a great show. I loved it. I love this show. And you know, a lot of people complained about the match. You know, not the match, but a lot of people complained that the pay-per-view was too long. And yeah, the pay-per-view was long. It was long. But they only give the pay-per-view, like, they only have pay-per-views that much. They got Revolution, they got All Out, they got Double or Nothing, and they got Full Gear. And they're all spaced out, so they're not close together. So yeah, man, that was the end of the match. That was the end of the show. And if you like this video, man, hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. What are you waiting for? And subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel and turn on that bell for all notifications. And that way you'll know when my next video will come out. And yeah, man, this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, that's it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. And that's that.